Welcome to another edition of our treatment of the International Sunday School lesson. Today's lesson is entitled, Jesus Predicts the Temple's Destruction. It is for July the 27th, 2025, lesson number 9, summer quarter. It's taken from Matthew 24, 1 through 14. Today's lesson is about the Olivet Discourse. This was a discussion that Jesus had with the disciples right after his last visit to the temple. The magnificence of the temple had prompted that discussion. The temple in Jerusalem was an important piece of architecture. It essentially had three major construction projects. The first time it was built was by Solomon. The Babylonians came and destroyed that temple and stole a lot of its artifacts. After the Babylonian captivity had ended, the returning Jews built another temple. It was not as great as Solomon's temple. Next, Herod enhanced that second temple to a magnificent structure. Herod's enhancements were significantly more than the original structure. Herod did not do this as a devotion to God, but to inspire people to respect his rule. Jesus and the disciples in today's story had just visited Herod's temple. Matthew 24 and 1. Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him to call his attention to the buildings. Well, friends, this was right after Jesus confronted the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Matthew 24 and 2. Do you see all these things, he asked. Truly I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. Well, friends, nothing would have stunned the people more than what Jesus had just said. This was said to the general public and not only to his disciples. It was the latter things that were said to only the disciples. This was a stunning statement. The temple was so magnificent. The stones that made the temple were huge. In that temple, says Josephus, the Jewish historian, were several stones which were 45 cubits in length, 5 in height, and 6 in breadth. That is more than 70 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 8 feet high. And Jesus said not one of them would be left standing. Matthew 24 and 3. As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? It was very common for Jesus to further explain things to his disciples. This is one of those instances. Jesus had told the general public that the temple would be destroyed. Now he was with his disciples. Peter, James, John, and Andrew, according to Mark 13:3, were the ones that asked the questions. Notice that the question is in at least two parts. One part is when the temple would be destroyed. The second question would be the sign of his coming and the end of the age. In fact, you could understand this as three questions. When will the temple be destroyed? When will Jesus come? And when will be the end of the age? The Lord's answer is just like Old Testament prophecies. Those often included some of the near events and some far events. The Lord's response followed that model. The destruction of the temple was very close. That would have been just maybe 30 or 40 years later. Jesus was coming back was at least 2,000 years away from the discussion they were having. And the end of the age was even farther than that. Matthew 24:4-8. Jesus answered, "Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name claiming, 'I am the Messiah,' and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains." The main point we need to take from these verses is the fact that there will be false messiahs. Nearly every cult that has ever existed has had a leader claiming to be the Messiah. It's amazing when you read of some of the stories of the cults, how gullible some of the people were when they fell for it. Warn your family and friends if you see them falling for these delusions. Matthew 24:9-14. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all the nations. Then the end will come. Well, friends, first, we are on a mission. That mission is to preach the gospel to the entire world. Every one of us should do something to support missions. I believe every ministry should be supportive of specific missionaries. There are 2 missionaries that my ministry supports. I can't go into a foreign land because I have responsibilities to my family, but I can pray and support missionaries. Let me encourage you to do the same, and don't make it a general thing. Let the Lord lead you to partner with specific missionaries for their monthly support and daily prayer. Another thing from this section of Scripture, don't be surprised that the love of many has grown cold. Don't be sucked into that problem, though. Keep the love for the Lord and for people you know. Being a Christian is keeping love at the center of all your actions. They will know we are Christians by our love. Well, friends, some concluding thoughts. Don't get discouraged. The Lord is coming back, and He is the winner. Spread the gospel every chance you get. Well, friends, good Lord willing, I'll be back with you next weekend.